Even if I was not completely refreshed in spirit, the bath certainly did wonders for me physically. I could no longer count each individual bone in my body aching, at the very least. The noon bell rang. I stood up in the bath, scanning around for a towel of some sort. I spotted one, a simple piece of linen cloth. Folded next to the habit Moira had washed for me. I stepped out of the bath while the bell was still ringing and dropped to my knees, resting my elbows against the edge of the tub with my hands clasped together. I began reciting the Psalms for Sext. Cantisum gradum, ad te lavi oculos meos, qui habitas in Calais. Hello. I wheeled around with a start, twisting into an uncomfortable position, attempting to cover my shame, and turned to face my visitor at the same time. You ever do that thing where you, turn too fast, and you somehow manage to pull a muscle in the side of your head, and you're like, how the hell does that even work? I think that's what Hedwig just did. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I was just coming to collect you for luncheon. It's all right. It's all right. I was just reciting the office. Really? Oh, which one? Sext. The noon office. Do you not, Oh, yes. Well, since we break for luncheon at midday, we roll that one into prime. This was deeply embarrassing for several reasons. I rose to my feet, strategically covering myself. Moira politely held a hand in front of her eyes. Did I interrupt it then? In the chapel? Oh, I would never blame you for it in that sense. But I began drying myself off with the towel, pressing it against my hair gently and hastily running it along my body. I must confess that I'm a little behind on all the offices today. I slept through matins as well. Matins? Oh, don't worry yourself about that. We roll matins into prime as... Oh, I'm getting this mixed up. We roll matins into prime as well. What? I flung the towel to the ground in shock, so dismayed I was. Moira, still holding her hand in front of her face, let out a nervous giggle. It's fairly normal, as far as I know. We have morning prayer and evening prayer. If we spent all day following the hours to the letter, we'd never get anything done. Or any sleep at all. Were you really getting up in the middle of the night to pray? Yes. And dropping everything to recite psalms throughout your day? Yes! Oh my goodness, that's so unfair. The superior never told you about how monasteries condense the hours? The bishop didn't either? No. I find it hard to believe, to be perfectly honest. How often do you take communion? Whenever the bishop is here, so every few months or so? This almost knocked me back onto the floor. I was used to receiving communion once a season, but I had been under the impression that I was a unique case. My needs differed from the rest of the sisters. I'd been in a permanent and all-encompassing relationship with God. These women did not seem to have the same devotion. I finally remembered that I was standing there like a fool and began to put my fresh clothes on. Oh yes, I am nude. I should fix that. They smelled and felt lovely. Little dried leaves fell out of the sleeves and robe as I lifted them. I bent down to pick one of them up after I had slid the cloak over my head. Oh, those are from our garden. Aren't they nice? Extremely so. You really don't recite the hours as written? This isn't, I don't know, a prank? Oh, why would I pull a prank on you? I have no idea. Do the nuns just hang out outside their chambers or something? They just knock on the door? They're like, who is it? And they go, the devil. The superior just put the idea in my head, I suppose. At morning prayer, oh, of course. Flora's the one to watch out for. She's full of youthful vigor. Or Darcy. Or, well, Catherine. Or Margaret. She looks sheepish. I can see why you might be wary of practical jokes, but please believe me when I tell you that condensing the hours into morning and evening prayers is fairly standard around monasteries these days. In fact, I think it might have been for a long while now. I supposed I'd have no way of knowing otherwise. And it's accepted? I don't think anyone's ever gone to hell for rearranging their calendar, if that's what you're asking. Hey, as somebody who lives by their iPhone calendar, I think I'm already in hell. Are you dressed now? Just about. Moira lifted her hand from her eyes. We couldn't be bothered to draw that, but never mind. Now would you look at that? Fresh as anything. You look so fresh and so clean, as the kids say. Oh, thank you very much for washing them. Oh, don't mention it. Hopefully you're feeling a little better now. Once we get some lunch in you, you'll be good as new, I reckon. I'm looking forward to it, but, This might sound silly, but, banana waffle. Does that sound sufficiently silly? But if I go to evening prayer tonight and do the rest of the hours, I still won't have caught up. Would you mind if I at least finish sext? Oh, no, not at all. Thank you very much. Isectac ocule servorum in manibus dominorum suorum. I've never actually prayed for an audience before. Hello, Lindborough Abbey! Are you ready to rock? How would you like me to join you? Hello, Lindborough Abbey. Are you ready to rock? Am I doing it correctly? Yes. That'd be lovely, actually. Moira beamed and walked over to the tub I had been using. She kneeled as I had been kneeling earlier, and I joined her. The pleasant scent of the leaves in the bath still lingered above the water. Sicut ocule anceli in manibus domine sue. Ita ocule nostria dominum Deum nostrum donec miserate nostri. We completed the liturgy and left in silence. I felt bolstered by the light of prayer, and the bath and fresh clothes had left me feeling warm and content. Moira strode in front of me, leading me to the rectory. When we arrived, I took a deep breath. Bathing in prayer rejuvenated my body and spirit, but I was still nervous about facing everyone. Both because of the harrowing events of the morning, but because of my mission. I hadn't forgotten. I just had no idea how to begin. Do you just go up to them and go like, hey, how do you guys feel about murder? Anybody? Just fans of murder? Anybody? The rectory was a long room with a high ceiling. A large age table, already laden with plates, ran the length of the room. All the other sisters were there, and the superior was standing at the head of the table, appearing to hold court. Ladies, how do we kill Superman? Ah, wonderful. Are you feeling any better? Yes, very much so. Moira beamed and gently guided me to the foot of the table, where a stool was waiting. Oh, I couldn't. Please, sit. So that everyone may be introduced to you properly this time. This was the last thing I wanted, to be perfectly honest. But I obeyed. You smell nice. Thanks. You have already met Sister Darcy, of course. She tends to the garden and livestock and is something of an alchemist. I prefer the title Alchavisionist. Of course. Darcy is the actual best. I love her so much. I love her so goddamn much. I'm sorry. Gosh darn much. Sitting next to her is Eustace. Charmed. Eustace is our sacristan and librarian. We actually have a great many rare books stored here that need to be taken care of. And read, most importantly. Not all of them have been cataloged. I am sure you and Eustace will get to know each other very well. She will be a great use to you as our new chronicler. Oh, good lord. This is Sister Flora. She's our youngest oblate. She's 17. I'm 19. Are you really? Oh my goodness, time flies. I wish. I've been stuck here for 5 years now. Well, now really. Stuck? Yes. Stuck. Well, she has not yet found her calling, but the youthful spirit of rebellion gives Flora the energy to help out with various tasks around the Abbey. You have met Moira already, of course. Yes, indeed. Moira is our infirmerer, but also serves as our chamberlain, and our hosteler on the rare occasions we have visitors. Just giving her all the complicated titles that I can't read. I had an easier time reading the Latin like 10 minutes ago than I had those titles. I'm the closest thing to a doctor here without, well, being a doctor, you know. Without having a man here, you mean. And thank goodness for that, A polite laugh went around the table. On your right, Hedwig, is Sister Marta. Eye patch! Oh, Marta, so that's her name. Marta has actually had many roles here, even before I was the prioress. She was the chronicler before our last, and has also been our cantor. You can just say that I'm old. It's no secret. I wouldn't dream of it. You have much wisdom and many surprises left in you, Sister Marta. What do you do nowadays? I try to enjoy what's left of my life, dear. Oh, and getting this out of the way early. Yar. Okay, moving on. You run the cellars, you mean? I said what I said. And a damn fine job running the cellar you do, I will say. This is Sister Charity, who, rather fittingly, is our head almoner. Though there's not much of that to be done around here, I'm afraid. So I mostly strive to do the same as Marta here. You help in the cellars? I enjoy life. Next is Sister Margaret. We've met already. Margaret is another almoner, and also helps in the cellars. I'm a precentor as well. I helped Catherine a lot with her writing. Catherine added the juicy bits, but I added the really juicy bits. Margaret is very talented. She was also our first foreign oblate. Thank you very much for explaining that on my behalf, Soup. Anyway, it's not completely true. It is completely not true, in fact. Ah, Sister Adela. I thought you were born in Spain. Indeed, I was born in Spain, which is another country. I was born in Spain as well. All right, I'm not attempting Spanish accents. Like, the Irish accent for Moira is as far as I'm gonna go. Just like what you hear is what you get. What I meant was, this should be good. Do you actually know where I was born, Soup? Don't call me that. And of course I do. You're our first oblate from outside the usual, here. The typical sphere of people who devote themselves to monastic life. Whole world's a sphere, Your Reverence. That's so true, Darcy. I'm just a nun doing my little part to spread the faith around the whole globe. Which is the entire purpose of being one, or so I'm told. I'm Irish. You don't say. That's wonderful. I'm Idaho! Yes, of course you are. I apologize. I did not mean to offend. I simply meant... No offense taken, Soup. I'm sure Hedwig knew what you meant. Well, well, well. Tough act to follow. You have, of course, met Catherine. Her name is spelled with a K, but when speaking we referred to her as Catherine the First. Our old chronicler was called Catherine the Second. We had a little contest for it, and Catherine the Second was very gracious in defeat. A crying shame what happened to her. Catherine is our... Come to think of it, Catherine, what is your title? I dabble. I dabble in the Lord, here and there, This is Sister Adelia. She was actually our newest oblate before you decided to join the congregation. That's right. It feels good to move up a rank. Adelia has also not really settled into a role yet. Like Flora, she helps out wherever she can. And finally, we have met already. I gulped. I'm the prioress. My second in command. We sat in silence for a moment. I'm from Wales. Wait, should I have been giving her a Welsh accent the entire time? What would that even sound like? I'm from Wales. Okay, that's all you're getting. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Thank you, Darcy. Well, now that we're all caught up. You know what? In fairness, this is set in, like, what, the 15th, 16th century? What we now understand as any of these accents, like British accents, Irish accents, Spanish accents, they would not be what we recognize now. Like, that's something that I think kind of gets lost a little bit, is people think that the accents we have now were the ones we had hundreds of years ago. No. So I'm just going with whatever doesn't embarrass me. I hastily lowered my head as well to join in the hushed whispers. Let us eat. Let us say a prayer. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub. On my plate were 2 thick slices of bread, far thicker than I had ever been given in my cell. There was some kind of boiled meat and a crumbly hunk of white cheese. Yeah, I know what I just said about British accents, but British cooking, sadly, that has not improved in the last 500 years. I glanced around. Everybody was already digging in with their fingers. I followed suit, starting with the bread. It was light and fluffy, with a crisp crust. A finger appeared above my plate suddenly. Duck. What? The meat. It's duck. With herbs. We're all gonna get completely blitzed by the end of this luncheon and spend the rest of the afternoon watching Gumball. From your garden? That's right. I pinched off a piece and marveled at how juicy it was. I put it in my mouth and was overwhelmed. Wow! I helped. Yeah, you killed the duck. Well, yes. Because you cry if you have to do it. Oh, that's right. I raised them and named them and love them. I will pet them and call them George. Oh, you really shouldn't do that for starters. Name them? Yes, or love them. It's like, oh god, she's setting up her own, like, Pokemon Nuzlocke and they're all Psyduck. I'm good at names is the thing. Oh, that's true. And once I've named something, it's impossible not to love it. What was this duck's name? I'd offer my compliments. If they were still alive, anyway. No clue. She doesn't let me tell her which ones are being slaughtered. Hang on, but you'd still... yeah, she figures it out eventually when she checks in on the animals. I'm getting mixed up, switching in between two nasally voices. I was worried about this problem. Oh, look, it makes sense. How does it make sense, Darcy? I'm going to be a little sad about it no matter what, but I can't stop it from happening. Well, that's just life right there. But I can put it off so I'm not sad about it at lunch, which is a horrible time to be sad. Also good instincts. Like, I feel like Darcy has, like, the straightest head on of anybody at this abbey. Does knowing you're going to be sad later not make you sad now? No. Why? Because the duck tastes good. Nobody seemed to be able to argue with this logic. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that logic. Unless you're vegan, maybe. That's our Darce. That's our Darce. Everyone continued eating in silence for a moment. How do you tell the difference between animals? Knowledge. I shuddered involuntarily all of a sudden as I felt a hand beneath the table tapping my knee. I looked over to my right at Marta, who smirked. She tapped my knee again as the others continued their conversation. Is it difficult killing the ducks? Not really. They're not much of a match for me, if I'm being honest. I suppose you have a knife in that situation. I assure you, I could easily defeat a duck even without a knife. What about 2 ducks? Oh, absolutely. 3? Again, definitely. I think you are all really overestimating how much damage a duck could do to me. I am an adult woman. The tapping on my knee continued. She, still smirking, tilted her hand down, indicating I should look lower. I did, and saw that she was holding a handful of... something. Understanding finally, I held out my hand. She nodded and returned to her meal. Ducks can be really mean. Have you ever seen an angry duck? I mean, several times in Disney cartoons. Oh, yes. They don't love being killed, funnily enough. What, they can, like, see you coming? They know they're about to die? I don't have to ambush them, if that's what you're wondering. They usually figure it out by the time I pick them up by the neck and put them on the chopping block, though. How would one sneakily attack a duck? Very easy, probably. They are ducks. But you don't attack them that way. Correct. Why not? Again, I feel like you are all severely overestimating the power of a single duck and underestimating me, a fully grown woman. How many ducks would it take before you think you'd lose? Are we having the ducks versus horses conversation? I'd be very surprised if there was not some kind of variant of the duck versus horses conversation like 500 years ago. I could defeat every duck. It is simply not a problem for me. Every duck in the world. Oh, come on. I could defeat infinite ducks. They are small and have little necks. I could kill a duck by accident. I could kill a duck with mind bullets. That's telekinesis, Kyle. It simply doesn't require any measurable amount of my strength. You would get tired eventually. I would not. You're talking as if they're ants. I think it requires a little more energy to kill a duck than an insect. Especially if there were a lot of them at once. I would swing my arms. I would kick out my legs. A group of ducks would crumple immediately in a fight against me. I'm liking the confidence. Okay, now I'm thinking about you killing a lot of ducks, and it's making me really sad because I'm imagining you killing all the ducks I'm looking after with huge kicks and punches, and I love those ducks, and I hate this conversation now. I'm sorry, Darcy. I didn't mean to upset you. We're speaking hypothetically here. I'm not going to kill all of your ducks. That's okay. Thank you, Eustace. She's not going to kill them all at once, anyway. Just the ones we need for food. She's trying to get out of it. She thought we wouldn't notice. Hedwig? Madam? She stood up, holding her empty plate. I would like to see you in my office when you've finished eating. I didn't know what they were. I just stuck my hand out. I beg your pardon? Oh, Hedwig, don't snitch. It's your first day amongst the congregation. No snitching. Nothing. Silence. They're just dried apples, dear. Oh. What? Come on, Marta, give me some too. Absolutely not. You've been a little cunt lately. Well, if you guys wanted, the first time I've said that, like, while filming a video, here we are. Something new every day. Marta. Crone. Gutter snipe. Ronyan. That's enough. The superior looked irritated. Flora and Marta looked as if they were having a grand old time. Hedwig, I'd just like to speak with you privately about your new duties as chronicler, now that you're feeling better. Yes, of course. Thank you. One of the others will show you where my office is when you are ready. She strode out of the room magnanimously. Take your time. Enjoy the rest of your luncheon. I started nibbling on some cheese. Everyone was watching me. I'm happy to share the apples, if you'd all like. There was a dull roar of agreement from everyone in the room. All except for Angela, who had been pretending to ignore everyone for the entire meal. I broke up the handful of dried fruit into 2 piles and passed to either side of me, keeping 1 piece for myself. Oh, thank ye kindly. I think that's the first bit of Old English I've actually seen in this game. So now that the elder ma'am is gone, do tell us about yourself. I realized that even now, after I had no more candied fruits to give, everyone in the room was staring at me with intense interest. Well, I don't know what I could say that I didn't say this morning. What did you say this morning? I must admit, wiping up your sick has overridden any memory of what you'd actually said prior. Sorry. Catherine shrugged, smirking. Margaret waved a hand. It gave us a chance to... Ow! A chance to reflect on the nature of servitude to God, and so on. I could see Angela raising one of her eyebrows out of the corner of my eye. Anyway, Hedwig is adapting wonderfully. She had some trouble with the stairs, but got the hang of them quickly. Yeah, I know... You know, I work from home, and I live kind of an introverted existence, but if you, like, can't master stairs, I think you truly, in every sense of the word, need to get out more. I imagine you'd probably have some trouble with stairs if you had been locked in a little room for that long. Yes, whereas we're all locked in a big room, aren't we? With each other for the company. Locked is a strong word, Catherine. You're right as usual. We aren't locked in. The hill is more of a moat. God's like, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. Honestly, you sound just like Flora sometimes. Or a hill. I'm not sure the metaphor is necessary. Metaphor? That's a big word. As expected, however, from our resident librarian cum butcher, on the subject of ducks, I was merely speaking in hypotheticals. Ooh, that's another good word. Oh, what does hypothetical mean, Eustace? I regret saying anything. I'm being earnest. It means mind control. You're thinking of hypnosis. 3 for 3. A loud jeer went up around the table. Darcy, help me out, please. Eustace scooted her chair back with a loud squeak and stormed out of the room. Oh, come on, Eustace, please come back. Perhaps this is rich of me to say, but I think you lot don't know when to lay off sometimes. I do not understand in this case. One minute she is talking about fighting ducks, but now she's upset we are joking about fancy words. Bad timing, I think. She's doing her best, but she's quite torn up. We all are. It's horrible. Hedwig, dear. If you don't know, I know. As I said, she was joking about killing ducks. I would have thought that would have been worse than joking about words. You're young. It's never the obvious things that remind some folk of grief past. Eustace is the librarian, and Catherine was the chronicler, of course. Peas in a pod they were. Not just them. We all miss her very much. It isn't a competition. Flora looked as if she was about to mouth off in response, but at that moment, Eustace re-entered the room carrying a large wooden bowl. Oh, what the hell happened in here? We were wondering where you'd gotten off to. We were worried you were upset. Eustace said nothing as she walked to the table with the bowl, smiling gently. Oh, that's plain dirty use. I have no idea what you're talking about. I forgot I had made this to celebrate our newcomer at, that's all. I believe you. Galade? After you've all had candied apple? Goodness. What's Galade? I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that right. Puddin'. Okay. Eustace ladled out the sweet-smelling treat onto everyone's plates. When it was Angela's turn to be offered some, she pushed her chair back and stood up, jolting the entire table forward and causing everyone's plate to wobble. Darcy and Moira had to hold onto their dishes to keep them from spilling over onto their robes. Oh, is everything all right, Angela? No. With a glare that seemed to lock with every pair of eyes in the room, Angela stalked out of the rectory hall. I doubt she'll be coming back with pudding.